Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else Show for you. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are going to explore some debate topics.
We're going to look at some topics from a website.
It is customwriting.org, and I'll put the link in the description.
That's right, customwriting.org. I can't remember the title of the page. What is the title of the page,
The
Bethany?
title of the page is 260 Controversial Debate Topics and Questions for Discussion.
That's what we're doing. That's what Bethany should have said at the beginning. But, what are you going to do? I mean, she knows it's her job. She knows I'm going to ask her, what are we doing? And she just doesn't know. It's crazy. Anyways.
I knew.
Anyways, there's categories.
Yes.
For these topics.
Yes.
There's like 8 categories.
Yes, correct.
And you did 4 and I did 4.
Yes, we each picked 4 different categories.
We each picked one from different categories, half of the different categories.
It shakes out to one question from each category.
What are the categories?
The categories are top 10 topics, top 10 questions, psychology topics, law topics, medicine and health topics, educational topics, relationship topics, and politics topics.
Who did the first one, me or you?
That was me.
Oh, okay. So I guess you get to start.
Okay, I'm going to start us off. And this category is just top 10 controversial debate topics.
Okay. And you picked one of them.
I picked one. Yes.
And I'd like you to know, we didn't research these at all.
Nope.
I don't know what questions Bethany is going to ask me.
And I don't know which questions
We didn't
you're
do
gonna ask me.
any research.
None
so we're just going
whatsoever.
to answer these questions right off the top of their head.
Yep.
Sorry.
So we're going to see how this goes. Okay.
You're going to get to see how a stupid person answers a question.
There we go. Okay. Number 1. Social Security should be privatized. That was the debate topic.
The debate topic.
That was the debate topic.
I mean, it kind of is already, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, everybody puts into their 401k and whatnot. That's what privatized Social Security is.
Oh, I interpreted it completely different.
Oh, how did you interpret it?
Because I was thinking actual Social Security, the actual institution of Social Security.
What I was thinking is like by privatize, it means money that you get when you're old because you can't work or do anything anymore because you're a drain on society when you're old.
Right, but I was thinking of it. I was thinking of it in terms of the Social Security Administration check, which has nothing, it doesn't have anything to do with like how much is in your 401k. Your financial institution that manages and dispenses your 401k funds are the ones that send you your 401k check.
Right.
The Social Security Administration is a government-run institution that issues a check to people.
Right.
So that's where I was framing the question. Is it was asking about the Social Security Administration, should it be privatized?
The
actual system itself.
Does it even matter?
Not 401ks.
Like I don't even count on my Social Security to do anything.
Oh, I don't either.
So what does it matter if it's privatized or not?
Well,
Could just throw it away. I don't know.
This was my thinking, okay? That Social Security should be privatized because, again, thinking of it in terms of the Social Security Administration that is run by the government, because anything that is solely run by the government is inefficient.
Anything?
And unorganized. And there's no incentive for them to actually make it better. If it was privatized, there might be an opportunity for some competition among...
You think there's going to be multiple Social Security companies?
Some sort of way to instill some kind of competition so that it's more geared towards a customer type of standpoint, not just, oh, you have a Social Security number, kind of standpoint.
I hear what you're saying.
Because it's not customer based at all. Like they don't care if they have terrible customer service. They don't care if people get cheated out of their Social Security benefits for, whatever, there's so many problems with the Social Security Administration because it's run by the government, which in and of itself is a very inefficient way to run things.
I hear what you're saying, Bethany, but I don't have any faith in any of that at all. Like I can't even get competition for my internet connection, so I don't see how I could possibly get competition for my Social Security. Yeah. So
that's just my ideal state.
Throw the whole thing away.
Okay.
Should it be privatized? Yes, and then destroyed.
Okay.
It's useless. Make it better.
Make something new. That's what I'm saying. If it was privatized, somebody could figure out how to make it better, which is why neither of us count on it.
No.
Right? It's not going to be around when our time comes. So what's your question?
My first one, top 10 controversial questions. And this question is, should space exploration be privatized? Look at us with our privatized questions.
Oh, privatized questions. Again, I think that's a yes, because it's government run, and I think that there's an opportunity for, again, maybe a little more competition and making things better.
You heard that here. Bethany hates the government.
I don't hate the government. I just think
Bethany is more
they're inefficient.
Anarchist. Huh?
I'm not an
anarchy. Anarchy. Anarchy.
I'm not an anarchist. I'm anti-inefficient. Like, I want things to be efficient. I want processes to be efficient. I want things to be simple and easy. And when the government gets involved, it is not. It is not. You ever try to do your taxes?
No.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. We don't do our own taxes.
Crazy. They throw me right in prison.
Yeah. Guess how much money you owe us? I'm like, I don't know. This much? No.
Jail. Straight to jail.
It's like, okay. Yeah, it's so stupid. Anyway. Okay. What's your stance?
I'd say let whoever wants to go into space go into space. I don't care. Just send them all to space.
Send everyone to space.
The government can go to space. Private companies can go to space. Everybody get into space. I don't care. I don't want
anybody wants to.
As a taxpayer, though, I don't really want to pay for a lot of space exploration, which I don't. As a taxpayer, I don't think I do. I think it's a very small piece of my taxes that go to space exploration. Unless I'm paying for space exploration to get something to make money. There's something I could do, like
they're gonna harvest something and it's gonna
benefit from an asteroid
you financially somehow.
Even if it just does something for the country as a whole.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But just going to go doesn't seem to.
Yeah. Well, what about like the innovation that comes with research and conducting experiments in space and having a better understanding of the universe?
Sure. If that is the goal, then fine. Go out with some purpose.
Yeah.
I see astronauts out there making music videos and shit and like, hey man, what are you doing out there?
What are you supposed to be doing?
And then everybody loves it.
Do science.
Oh, look at he's doing a David Bowie music video out in space. What are you doing?
Okay. I mean, but what if that's like, I feel like that's that would be such a tiny percentage of that person's time in space. I don't know that. Because when they go to space, they go for a really long time. They don't just go for like a week. Like they go for an extended period of time, months.
Okay.
Sometimes years.
All right.
Yeah.
I want them doing science the entire time.
They're not allowed to take any breaks or have any fun. Oh my gosh. You're a buzzkill.
How is this food affecting everything in space? It's all science. Write it down after every bite.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Write it down.
Okay.
I guess that if they were researching how to make music videos in space, they write some stuff down.
So Robert, I'm anti-establishment. You're anti-fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am.
Okay, anti-fun. Got it.
At least I can admit mine.
No fun whatsoever. Okay, this is from Psychology Debate Topics.
Okay.
Can interaction on social media replace normal communication?
What is normal communication? What do they mean by normal? Face-to-face or
I think
phone
it's
calls
just however you want to interpret it. It's kind of an oddly worded question.
Read it again.
Can interaction on social media replace normal communication?
I feel like interaction on social media is part of normal communication. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it replaces anything. I think it just adds to what normal communication is. It's a stupid question.
I interpreted it as like just, everyday communication. So
like we wouldn't talk anymore. We would just
on social media. Yeah. So
what a stupid question.
So my response, it leaves so much open to interpretation, right? Like what's quote unquote normal. So I said it could, if society let it evolve to that point. Virtual communication needs to become the norm, not the exception. And the reason why I say that is because, like, in the context of COVID and everybody becoming virtual, and then like people freaking out that everybody's virtual, and, you know, people not really understanding that we can accomplish the same tasks virtually. Like, I feel like saying that virtual communication, or like, you know, social media, which I kind of interpreted as like virtual communication. I feel like if we don't normalize that, then we're just always going to have this struggle between, you know, the virtuees who like don't mind working virtual and who think everybody should be working virtual, and like the old school, like the office.
How do you interpret this about work at all? Do they mention work in here?
No, they don't mention work, but I'm saying that there's a broader theme if you say no. Like there's a broader impact if you say no. It's not going to replace, because some of these questions have just a larger impact than just the way that I interpreted it.
Yeah, I consider
like a broader impact.
I consider social media to be part of normal communication, so that's why it's a stupid question.
Okay, I can definitely see
stupid question.
How that would be.
Oh wait, I have
You're next.
Next question, Bethany. Let's move it.
Next question. What is that?
My next one is from debate topics for law students. So we should be really good at this one.
Oh God. Okay. I'm scared now.
This is an easy
Am I going to understand any words?
This is an easy one, Bethany.
Okay.
This is an easy paragraph I have to read.
Oh my God.
Can guaranteed minimum income ruin the economy? Taxpayers support people unable to work, but also those not willing to find a job. If the latter had no support from the state, would it incentivize their employment? Fun topics, huh?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you already know my stance on the minimum income. And,
do I?
And
do they?
Oh, well, I am pro having a minimum income. And I feel I thought you were going to call me a socialist for a second. Socialist,
communist.
But like, there is such a, I don't know, anecdotal debate where things get kind of blown out of proportion of like, oh, well, you're de-incentivizing getting a job, but really what you're doing is you're incentivizing somebody to get a lower paying job because they have a minimum income to still have a living wage if they work a little bit lower paying job. So I am very, very pro minimum income. And I would not mind my tax dollars paying for that, because I feel like that would invigorate the economy. I feel like it would invigorate, you know, areas where the economy is really bad and where people are seriously out of work and like can't afford food, can't afford, you know, I'm all for that. I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm actually pro minimum income too. It's tough. It's a real tough thing to say because I don't know what the results would be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's like not a simulation that we can run this through and have the perfect answer. I oftentimes don't think people are that motivated by money to a point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think in the larger scale, yes, people are working so that they can get money. But like on the short term, like I don't think people are going to work and being like, okay, for this hour, I made this much money. I need to work this many more hours this week so I can get enough money so that I can buy, you know, rent or whatever. Mm-hmm. The people don't think like that. So having a minimum income, I don't know if it would or would not incentivize people like, okay, well, my rent's covered. I do like eating out. So maybe I should get a part-time job or a full-time job, or I like doing something. So mm-hmm. maybe I would be able to get this job, or I don't know, but I I would like to know. I would like to see what happens. And if it destroys everything, oops, what are you going to
do? We were wrong.
Oops.
This is medicine and health debate topics.
Okay. It's a good one for me.
Okay. Obsession with slenderness provokes eating disorders. First, you need to make your eating habits healthy, and then extra weight will go away by itself.
Slenderness? An obsession with slenderness?
An obsession. Do you mean to read it again?
Yeah, read it again.
Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. Obsession with slenderness provokes eating disorders. First, you need to make your eating habits healthy, and then extra weight will go away by itself.
I feel like the way it says obsession with slenderness, of course that's bad.
Right.
To be obsessed with being slender? Yeah. I think people need to be more obsessed with diet and exercise than like their end result. And I guess that's what the question is asking. I think so. I guess I do agree that people should not be obsessed with being slender. They should be obsessed with being not obsessed. Not even obsessed.
Not even obsessed.
They should be mindful of what they do so that they can be healthy. Healthy is such a broad term. It's not really defined. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I always look at like people that are super buff and I'm like, oh God, I would love to be super buff. And then you see that like, oh, these guys are all like dehydrated so they could look just like super buff and stuff. And like, that's not really healthy, but like, that's
you just like how they look.
Yeah, like that's the version. Like I want to look like a He-Man action figure. You know what I mean? But that's not necessarily healthy. It's like a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also don't like how this is worded because it says obsession with slenderness provokes eating disorders. First, you need to make your eating habits healthy, and then extra weight will go away by itself. So I don't like that it says obsession with slenderness provokes eating disorders because a lot of times it's control that provokes eating disorders because you feel like the only thing that you have control over is what you eat and your body. You're not necessarily obsessed with being skinny. You're obsessed with being in control. You want control over something. And a lot of eating disorders are deep-seated in that need for control, where everything else in their life is out of control. And all they want is they just want control over this one thing. They just want this one thing.
You know what? When I get stressed out, like I feel like things are moving out of my control, I always start cleaning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like something I can control.
Yes. Yeah. That's a healthy way to deal with that feeling of like, God, everything's out of control. I'm going to focus on one thing that I can control. And that's, cleaning up my environment.
Yeah. This house could use me to be more stressed out.
I think I need to stress you out more. So, yeah. I agree. But yeah, it's like they're missing a key factor, which is that control.
Control. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so not necessarily.
Wow, Bethany, I agree with your statement more than theirs. Educational debate topics. Classes should start in the afternoon. What is the best time for a school day to start? People have different biorhythms. Should they be taken into account? Is it possible to give pupils and students an option to choose for themselves?
I think absolutely students should be able to choose the time of day because I think that like schools in their present form, I think are archaic and outdated. And I think everything should be virtual. Everything should be online. Like, okay, I've got this math class. I'm going to go take this math class at 2:00. And then it's just, it's a video math class.
Right.
Right. Your tutor is virtual. You know what I mean? We have such an archaic education system that is so behind with a few exceptions. There are some affluent school districts that have a lot of money to invest in technology. Most school districts don't. So it's like we've got such an archaic system of learning and we've ingrained it in people that like, this is the only way that you can learn is in person 8 hours a day, like the bus must come at 6:40, just it's like ancient. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is an interesting question just in regards to my entire life. When I was in high school, right. I had a home studies program. I was on a home study program, right? And I would get up super early in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, so that I could do all my work because I was too busy in the house to get anything done like later on in the day. Too many people living there, you know? And it was really helpful that like I just went into class once or twice a week and talked to a facilitator, and we discussed, it was like a one-on-one, and we discussed what I did the week and what I was going to do the next week, and if I had problems understanding anything. And I think it worked out really well, a lot better than being in class, because I had a hard time waking up in the morning to go to school. But once I was like on my own and responsible for my own work, I was up way before school even started.
Right, to get it done. Because you recognized, okay, this is the best time for me to do this task.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if school would have started at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would have been better at going to school. But when it started at, 7:45, it just was not working for me.
Well, it's like 7:45 to 2:30 or whatever, and then you get home, and then after you get home you have to do homework in the afternoon. And that was like your worst time to try and do homework.
Yeah,
you needed that quiet time.
Right.
Yeah,
it is interesting though, because for like younger people, like people that have younger children are not prepared to teach those children or sit them in front of a computer and have them sit in front of a computer.
I mean, I see 1 and 2-year-olds using iPads.
Yeah,
they're like
to play Roblox.
Watching,
you don't see them
they're
learning how to do.
They're watching like educational videos, and they're like, which one is blue, which one is red, and they touch this. I mean, it's like it really is
until they're bored with it.
I'm just saying.
Get rid of this. Where are my toys?
If we
got it.
Yeah. I mean, it would require some planning, but I do believe that for the normal school age student,
right, somebody who can be
our system is very archaic.
Responsible on their own, I guess is.
Yeah. And like, we don't trust them to be responsible on their own, but like, we've never even really given them an opportunity, except
and you know what, that was one
years.
of the bigger problems in school was I would be sitting in school, and I'm a good kid, obviously.
You are. Yeah. You're the best kid.
And kids in the classroom would be like disruptive towards class. So now everything we didn't finish in class, I had to go home and do for homework. And like,
because those kids that were screwing up. Yeah.
So now I've got stuff I've got to do at home because this kid won't shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this kid doesn't understand. I understand. Can we please just get to doing some work in here so I don't have to do it for homework? But no. Then I had to go home and try and do it for homework. Yeah. And I have so much stuff at home that I could do, like video games.
Cleaning.
And when am I supposed to do homework?
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like it should at least, like, we just need maybe more options.
Yeah.
Like, there just needs to be more options.
Yeah.
So
let's just say something needs to be done. We don't know what. We're stupid.
We're dumb. We're not going to solve world hunger, but that's just our opinion.
Let's give all students a minimum income so they don't even...
Do it. This is my last one. Controversial relationship debate topics. Ooh. Okay.
What'd you pick for this one?
No-fault divorces should be prohibited. Divorce procedures should be made more complicated. Couples should be given more time to think before the final decision is given. Should couples provide confirmation to their accusations? Are you familiar with no-fault divorce?
Yeah, where nobody... it is what it sounds like it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What was the last part that you said, the last sentence?
The last sentence was, should couples provide confirmation to their accusations?
Confirmation to their accusations.
So if I'm like, I need a divorce because you're cheating on me, but now I have to prove that you were cheating on me. Like that kind of thing. Because I want to prove fault. So the way it works now, that system essentially does sort of exist where if I want some sort of financial, support or whatever, because now you've put me in a situation where I have to support myself, that kind of thing, then, you're required to give evidence, but as it stands now, you're not, kind of thing. So
right. Well, my thoughts is marriage is stupid anyway. I know we're married, but that was like mostly your idea. I mean, I would have been fine with a committed relationship. So I think maybe it should be harder to get married, then maybe it would mean more. But
that's an interesting take.
But it's so easy to get married, it should be just as easy to get divorced. I don't think you should make it more difficult to get divorced. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it more difficult to get married, not more difficult to get divorced.
Right.
I don't know.
I would agree with that.
I also don't know how you would do this.
We don't need to provide the solutions. We're just answering the questions.
I don't know.
You don't need a philosophy or a business plan.
Maybe you would have to take like some relationship classes, and get a license so you can get your marriage license. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like
some churches require premarital counseling. They call that premarital counseling. And so depending on like where you're getting married, if you're getting married at like a specific church, most churches require premarital counseling.
Get Jesus involved.
Get Jesus involved.
Gotta have a consultation with Jesus before marriage.
No thanks. So I'm the kind of a similar mind as you. No, I think anybody who wants a divorce should be able to get one. Like, I
think people that aren't even married should be able to get divorced.
I think it's dangerous to make it more difficult. There's a lot of horror story. I read a lot of history books. There's a lot of horror stories from the 17th and 18th and 19th century where it was really difficult in most countries to get a divorce, and the lengths that some women had to go to leave clearly abusive relationships, but the burden was on them to prove it. To make it more difficult, I think, is a really dangerous thing to do.
But what about like alimony and stuff like that?
Then I think that's when the fault has to be established, because if you're asking for alimony, there's usually a reason,
right?
Like, let's say I've been a housewife for 35 years.
Don't worry, Bethany, I've got my list together of why you need to pay me alimony. How I've built you from the ground up. Paid for all of my schooling, all of my degrees, right?
How
you would be in the poorhouse if it wasn't for me managing your money. How about that, Bethany?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is, like, we are not our grandparents and great grandparents, and like as a society, our views of these institutions should evolve as society changes and evolves. That's
God. Bethany hates the government, Jesus, and old people. No. Let me read this last question before you alienate everybody.
No, I'm not. That's not what I said. Whatever. Okay, last question.
This last one shouldn't be a problem. It's from Political Debate Topics.
Isn't that just what we've been doing this whole time?
Probably.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Are election campaigns a waste of money? Could there be other ways of informing the people about the candidates? Could the candidates compete in charitable activities rather than eloquence on TV?
I think that campaigns are a waste of money. I think they're ridiculous. I think everybody should just get, like, you get the voting pamphlet, right? And it tells you what your candidate believes about this and that. And like, I feel like that should be the end of it. Like, I feel like that should be the extent. They give you a brochure, just black and white brochure, and I feel like that would level the playing field more, because some candidates have lots and lots and lots of money to spend on campaigns and some don't.
Because I don't like reading, I think the candidates should be somewhere where you can see them and get a feel for them. Because I mean, paper text on the page is so impersonal. No, I need to see them talking.
Okay, you want to hear their voice?
Yes, unless they don't speak, I want to see them signing, or however it is they're communicating. I want to see it.
Want to visually?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can see if they're lying to me. And you know what? They are.
They are. They are. Yeah.
So I think campaign money is a problem.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But there are so many free places to receive information. How do you get that free information? Because
it should be like standardized.
If everybody in the world wants to run for president, it can't be done, right? You can't have everybody in the world be a candidate for president. So how do you narrow down that field into people that you're eventually going to pay attention to? Is the problem, right?
Well, I mean, there's primary elections, there's the national convention.
But how do you get down to the primary election if it's not with campaigning?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I do like the idea of charitable, doing something, charitable, but I don't know how that would make their platform known.
Right.
Just doing charity work, I don't think is enough because
you just turn it into an episode of The Apprentice. Who can raise the most?
Yeah, who can raise the most money?
For charity.
And that doesn't mean they're the best candidate. It just means they've raised the most money.
Maybe they should put up a new YouTube site that is just for political candidates, and that's politicalcandidates.youtube.com. It's a long URL, but that's what they do there.
That's all they do.
That's all they do. If you put on,
they answer all the same questions.
If you put up a music video, you're done. You're done.
You will be banned.
Just you being a political candidate. That's it. That's
answering questions.
Answering questions.
Yep.
Interacting with people.
I like that. And I feel like it should be standardized. So the interactions are standardized. The questions are standardized.
Well,
they get the same opportunities to express themselves.
Yeah, but you also want to get a feel for the candidate. So there should be standardized on questions and answers about the issues. And also this is personal stuff.
Here's them in action.
Right. This is what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah.
This is their dogs not voting for you if you show your dogs. It's just what it is. Don't like dogs.
We're not big into animals.
Don't like pets.
We don't care if you have dogs. So, okay, I think in principle, I agree with you.
Waste of money.
Yeah, I feel like it really is a waste of money, and it's
commercials.
Oh my god, the commercial.
This message was paid for by who cares?
One commercial is it's not gonna make me vote for someone.
Make me not vote for somebody.
Yeah, if their commercial
interrupts what I'm trying to watch. All right, so that's it. We're done with the questions.
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Were we keeping score? There was no score.
Yeah, I think I won. Anyways, should I take us out?
Yes, Robert, take us out.
Thanks for watching, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show. We're also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. If you have any opinions on the things that we said today, but not about us, just about us. Just about the questions, don't opinion on us.
Yeah.
Just the questions. Let us know in the comments. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet. And we are frozen. And it's going to crash.